everyone, Meta527ii here, and I'm bringing you another commentary. Today's commentary was requested by a user named the Secluded Piplup to do a commentary on a user by the name of YellowSwellow, who made a video on his top 5 most overrated Pokemon. It's not the fact that he finds them overrated that's the matter, it's how he made the list. It's not to say it's a bad countdown, but it could have been much better. With that out of the way, let's begin the video.
I have 2 Pokemon in the honorable mentions, Mewtwo and Pikachu. I do not think Mewtwo is overrated.
Then why is it in the honorable mentions segment? Also, I would ordinarily be okay with you listening to honorable mentions, but listening to them before the list starts will keep your subscribers waiting until you get to the actual entries. It's probably best to list them after the actual list, or at least in the description.
But I'll give you guys this, Tyranitar is a very, very good Pokemon, very unique typing, but Tyranitar is not as good as we think, especially in 6th generation. With the addition of fairy types, Tyranitar has a big weakness, and the fact that Sandstream now only lasts 5 turns and not the whole match, it kind of really takes away a lot from what made Tyranitar so unique.
Oh, I see. That's a great argument. I'm glad to hear that you liked it better when the Sandstorm lasted until the end of the battle, where even your own Pokemon would be crippled by it if there weren't Rock, Ground, or Steel. I'm glad to hear that. Dude, if you want to complain about that, come up with more arguments of why that's bad.
And you add that to the fact that Tyranitar is 4 times weak to fighting. Fighting is such a very popular move, and it's weak to Earthquake, which is just used about on every single team. It really puts out there that Tyranitar is not as good as most Pokemon fans think he is.
Ground is super effective against 5 different types: Fire, Rock, Electric, Steel, and Poison. So a lot of Pokemon are going to be weak to Earthquake.
Number 4 is a Pokemon that is popular because it is so bad, and that is Magikarp. I know I've been doing this list based on Pokemon that aren't as good as most of us think it is, but Magikarp gets so much hype around it. I've seen so many memes around Magikarp, you know, so many just things online, like people just know who Magikarp is. Everybody knows who Magikarp is. It's probably just as popular as Pikachu. And I've even seen shirts that say like stuff like, "Don't mess with me or I'm gonna kick your ass when I evolve," or something, you know.
Okay, that's fine. While you're at it, might as well call Sonic 06 and the CDI games overrated.
Number 2 on my list is a Pokemon that a lot of people, I believe, got right, and that is Charizard. Wow. Charizard, not the greatest typing, flying and fire type, kinda gets destroyed by rocks, and is just not as good as you might think it is. I'm sorry.
So, is quadruple weak to rock type moves? Question, do you consider Volcarona and Yanmega overrated too? Is Salamence an overrated Pokemon because it's quadruple weak to ice? I mean, he brought up another point like this in the Tyranitar segment on how it's quadruple weak to fighting. At least then he brought up a good point of how fighting type moves are very common. And before you call me a hypocrite for also refuting the argument about Earthquake, which is also common, the reason I refuted that point was because it's only double weakness instead of quadruple weakness.
Number 1 on my list is Lucario. Lucario, you are an amazing Pokemon. You are an OU caliber Pokemon. You have been good for 3 generations, but you're just not as good as people think you are. You know, I saw a post on the Pokemon Facebook page like yesterday, and it was putting up Lucario against Toxicroak in a battle, and it was asking people to comment who they believed was going to win that match. And naturally, of course, people voted for Lucario to win. That, in my opinion, is the definition of overrated. To be quite honest, in a match, Lucario is going to lose 99% of the time. Lucario is weak to fighting type attacks, and Toxicroak resists fighting type attacks. What more is there to say? Toxicroak can essentially go for a Drain Punch, and Lucario is dead. What are you gonna do, Lucario? Extreme Speed? That's not really gonna do much unless you got like 2 Swords Dances up, so... And people were commenting if Lucario knew Psychic, it'd be ×4 super effective and easily kill Toxicroak. Let's be real here. Who in their right mind, if you're not playing in-game of course, teaches Lucario Psychic? It's not Stab and it's a special attack.
Why does it matter that it's a special attack? If you check Lucario's stats, it has higher special attack than attack. Not by much, but yeah. Even with Toxicroak's defenses, they're both the same of 65 defense points, both physical and special. And I know that same type attack bonus can help you in a lot of matches, but type advantages are more important than same type attack bonus. Do the math. Toxicroak is a fighting type, making its moves give 1.5 times as much damage, but since fighting is super effective against steel, it multiplies by 2, making it 3 times as effective. Sounds good? But if Lucario uses Psychic, even though it doesn't get same type attack bonus, Toxicroak is a poison type and a fighting type, both of which are weak to psychic moves, making it take 4 times as much damage. I have nothing else to say here, so let's get on with my final thoughts. Some of your points seemed rather invalid because you complain about some Pokemon being weak against certain types, which, face it, pretty much every Pokemon has a weakness. And you also overlooked a couple of important details. If you guys want to do a commentary on my commentary, be sure to do that. And if you want to pick up the points that I missed, splice in the parts of the original video that you want to commentate over. That's all I have to say about this video. I hope this commentary was good. I'll see you guys next time, and I am very excited for Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire.